about Disney villains, our minds often jump to those with great powers. Maleficent's dark magic, Ursula's oceanic witchcraft, and Jafar's hypnotic staff. But one of the most chilling villains in the Disney universe doesn't have any of that. Lady Tremaine, Cinderella's stepmother, doesn't possess supernatural powers. At least, not at first. Yet she remains one of the most psychologically terrifying characters in all of Disney's history. Her weapon isn't magic, it's manipulation. Her cruelty is subtle, but relentless. And what makes her so uniquely horrifying is how real she feels. She mirrors real-world abusers. Those who use emotional control, verbal degradation, and psychological warfare to dominate others. Lady Tremaine doesn't just want power, she wants complete control. And her methods reveal just how effective and devastating a well-written, realistic villain can be. From the very beginning, Lady Tremaine makes her intentions clear. Not with threats, but with cold indifference and strategic cruelty. She isn't outwardly violent. In fact, she often presents herself in a composed, soft-spoken manner. But behind her calm voice is a mind always scheming to break down Cinderella. When Cinderella dares to ask if she can attend a royal ball, Tremaine doesn't say no outright. Instead, she crafts a scenario that gives Cinderella false hope. She tells her, "You may go if you get all of your work done." But just earlier, she had doubled Cinderella's chores, making the task nearly impossible. She even piles on more, knowing full well what she's doing. And when Cinderella somehow manages to complete it all and creates a dress from scraps, Lady Tremaine plays along right up until the last second. Then she calmly watches as her daughters destroy the dress piece by piece. She doesn't stop them. She orchestrates it. This wasn't an impulsive act. It was a calculated, psychological blow. She allowed Cinderella to believe for a moment that she could have something beautiful, only to rip it away. That's not just cruelty, it's manipulation at its finest. This moment is Cinderella's breaking point. The emotional collapse that reveals just how deeply her stepmother's abuse has cut her. But Lady Tremaine doesn't stop there. When she discovers that Cinderella is the mysterious girl from the ball, she takes her cruelty a step further. Without saying a word, she follows her into her room and locks her inside, preventing her from trying on the glass slipper. She knows that this is Cinderella's only shot at happiness, and she does everything in her power to crush it. Even when Cinderella manages to escape, Lady Tremaine trips the Grand Duke's assistant, shattering the slipper into pieces, literally trying to destroy Cinderella's future before her very eyes. Lady Tremaine doesn't need a wand to be terrifying. Her control is quiet, manipulative, and devastating. In Cinderella II, we see that Lady Tremaine's control doesn't stop with Cinderella. It bleeds into the way that she treats her own daughters, particularly Anastasia. During her scene where the family walks through the village, Anastasia becomes intrigued by the smell of bread from a local bakery. She's happy and she's curious. For once, she's acting like a normal young woman. But Lady Tremaine quickly shuts her down, snapping to not embarrass herself. She won't even let her smell the bread because joy, curiosity, and individuality are threats to Lady Tremaine's dominance. Later, when Anastasia falls in love with a humble village baker, Lady Tremaine forbids it. She tells Anastasia that he's beneath her and not good enough, but she covers this with fake concern, saying it's only because she wants what's best for her as her daughter. This is classic manipulative behavior, disguising control as care and using guilt to make the victim feel ungrateful. The way Lady Tremaine treats people has clearly rubbed off on her daughters. Drizella and Anastasia often lash out on each other, echoing their mother's toxic behavior. The cycle of abuse continues, not just through actions, but through mindset. Lady Tremaine doesn't want her daughters to be happy. She wants them to be obedient. In Cinderella III, A Twist in Time, Lady Tremaine finally acquires real magic power after stealing the fairy godmother's wand. And what's terrifying is that she doesn't change her tactics. She simply enhances them. She uses the wand to reverse time, going back to the moment where Cinderella tries on the glass slipper. This time, she makes sure that Anastasia fits the shoe before Cinderella even gets a chance. And when Cinderella confronts her, confused and heartbroken, Lady Tremaine tells her it was all just a dream, a hallucination. This is gaslighting. Lady Tremaine then uses the wand to manipulate the prince's memory, making him believe that Anastasia is the girl who danced with him at the ball. She turns her own daughter into a pawn in her quest for power and wealth, forcing her into a relationship that neither she nor the prince wants. And when Anastasia hesitates, Lady Tremaine threatens to banish her from the kingdom if she dares interfere. And Anastasia is visibly distressed and doesn't want to go through with this. But Lady Tremaine doesn't care. She's fine with her daughter living a lie as long as it means she can get the riches and status that she craves. Lady Tremaine even turns her cat Lucifer into a human-like enforcer and commands him to ensure that Cinderella doesn't come back alive. That's how far she's willing to go. And the emotional manipulation doesn't even stop here. When Anastasia refuses to marry the prince, Lady Tremaine lashes out, saying, "I gave you everything." This is a classic line that real-life abusers use to guilt their victims into submission. She disregards her daughter's feelings and humanity because Lady Tremaine only cares about Lady Tremaine. Lady Tremaine isn't the flashiest villain. She doesn't command storms or breathe fire, but she is, without question, one of the most terrifying. And that's because she feels real. She reflects the kind of cruelty many people face in the real world. Emotional manipulation, verbal degradation, psychological control, and guilt-based parenting. She doesn't just want to control the situations, she wants to control people's minds, their emotions, and their realities. That's what makes her so dangerous and so compelling as a character. Lady Tremaine is the blueprint for a realistic villain, making her so unforgettable. I would like to know your thoughts on Lady Tremaine. Comment your thoughts down below and subscribe for more content like this.